Coming up on Takedown with Chris Hansen.
Oh my goodness. I had a conversation with someone about you.
On this night in Montgomery County, Ohio, I come face to face with an alleged serial child predator.
You admitted having sex with other underage girls.
And what he brought with him to meet a 14-year-old girl will leave you stunned.
Condoms, spermicide, lubricant, Plan B pills. Are you a predator?
I hope you're enjoying this full free episode of Takedown, but there's something else you need to know. Only a small portion of our episodes are on YouTube. There are more than 100 episodes on our streaming service, ad-free and uncensored at watchtrublue.com. Use the code YouTube24 to watch them all for $2.50 or YouTube Year for $20 off an annual subscription. Also, and this is important, hit the subscribe button below, and we'll see you soon on TruBlu. When I partnered with the Montgomery County, Ohio Sheriff's Office and its child predator investigation Operation Intercept, I was ready for just about anything. But even I was shocked by the man who walked in the door on this night. A chatter has been talking with 54-year-old Brian from the Chicago area. Captain Terry Abels gives me the details of the man driving through the night to meet with an underage girl. Our next alleged predator is 10 minutes out.
Yes.
What do we know about him?
It's a 58-year-old male from the Chicago, Illinois area, en route today thinking he's going to meet a 14-year-old female for sex.
He said that he's had other sexual experiences with virgins.
Yes.
He's bringing condoms.
Yes, multiple condoms, yes.
Is it strange that somebody would drive that far for this kind of a liaison?
Well, it is strange, but it does happen. They do come from all distances.
And this guy's a professional. He's a project engineer.
Correct.
Just got off work.
Yeah, that's what it
And now
sounds
he's
like.
headed to Dayton, Ohio to have sex with a 14-year-old girl.
That's correct.
It's mind-boggling.
It is.
But he's due here in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
All right, let's get ready.
Okay.
The strike team gets in place, and my team has all the cameras ready to roll.
Pulling up the drive. Pulling up.
The call comes in that Brian has reached his destination. The sheriff's office decoy meets him at the door. We've disguised her voice for security reasons. I watch as Brian enters carrying what looks to be not one, but 2 overnight bags. But the only sleepover he'll be having tonight is in a county jail cell. Sheriff's detectives apprehend Brian before he can even reach the decoy.
Wait! Put your hands up, right there. Put your hands up. Drop your bag. Drop your bag. Drop your bag.
Yes, sir.
Drop your bag.
Thank you. I didn't knew this would happen. How you doing?
Oh, wow. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
He's secured in handcuffs, read his rights, and questioned. Out of Brian's sightline, I listen in to what he tells detectives, and what I learn leaves me horrified. During the interview, Brian shocks the room and admits to having sex with 2 underage girls in the past. What you're about to hear is one of the most stunning, shocking, and frightening interviews I've ever done, as I'm about to come face to face with a self-proclaimed serial child predator.
Hey, Brian.
Brian recognizes me immediately.
Oh my goodness. I had a conversation with someone about you.
You did? Brian, how old are you?
54.
54.
Well, yeah.
Should be a pretty easy question. What was your plan here tonight, Brian?
Oh man, this is on TV. Legitimately, the plan was to come in and just see who the person was.
See who the person was. But the person told you she was 14, correct? Mm-hmm. And you brought bags with condoms.
I brought bags because whether, yeah.
Condoms. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Sure. But there were condoms, spermicide, lubricant, Plan B to prevent a pregnancy.
Yeah, for anyone that, yeah.
Yeah. Why so many things like this?
Why so many what?
So many items like this. Condoms, spermicide, lubricant, Plan B pills.
Well, because if you're going to be with anybody,
right,
you should protect yourself and or the other person from an unwanted pregnancy, regardless of age. Or
so you were worried there might be an unwanted pregnancy from your meeting with a 14-year-old girl?
No.
Well, then, no. Brian, why would you bring all this stuff?
Because I bring it with me when I go out
everywhere
to meet
you go.
25-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're meeting a 14-year-old girl tonight, right? Okay.
Yeah.
What makes a 54-year-old man travel 4.5 hours over state lines to have sex with a 14-year-old girl? Help me to understand that.
I don't have an answer for that.
You don't have any answer at all? Do you have an attraction to younger girls?
No.
But you admitted having sex with other underage girls, one in Michigan and another in Ohio, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to their parents' homes, or where did you have sex with them?
He seems to be at a loss for words, realizing he's being busted.
You went to their home like this, right? You had sex in the car, you had sex in the house, you had sex. Where did you have sex with them?
Sorry, this is kind of surreal.
Well, it's a little bit surreal for me, to be honest with you.
One was the house, one was at a meeting at a hotel.
Meeting at a hotel, one was in the house. So the one girl with whom you had sex, who was 15, was at her parents' house? Well, at 15 years old, she doesn't own her own home.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. So you came over kind of like this. Did you use condoms when you had sex with her?
Yeah.
Did you give her a Plan B pill afterwards? Just to make sure.
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah, you gave her a Plan B pill.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Was she a virgin?
I don't know.
You don't know. Because you talk about how to care for a virgin in the conversation leading up to your visit tonight.
Mm-hmm. Because the virgins that I have met have been 18 and 19.
Okay, but tonight it was 14. And you say in the chat something to the effect of, I'll keep putting it in as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then you say something to the effect of, it'll feel incredible. And you talk about the other virgins with whom you had sex, saying they were very satisfied. Are you particularly skilled at taking the virginity of young women?
No.
It sounds like you've had a lot of experience.
No. No, I believe 4.
4. You've taken the virginity of 4 young women.
18 and 19.
18 and 19, but also 15 and 15.
I'm not sure if they were virgins or not.
Did they say they were virgins? You asked them, right?
One said no.
One said no.
And the other one was no.
Okay. But they were 15.
I mean, it's documented down, yeah.
Yeah, okay. What do you think their parents would think about that?
I think their parents would probably be apoplectic, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Do you have kids yourself?
I would be apoplectic, yes.
You have kids or no?
Yes.
You have kids?
Yeah.
And how old are your children, Brian?
17 and 14.
17 and 14. They boys or girls?
Oldest 2 are girls, youngest is a boy.
20 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody came into your house, Brian, to have sex with one of your children, how would you react to that?
I would not want strangers in my home.
Okay.
It's something that, as I've discussed with others, it's not something I would necessarily, like when have spoken with older.
No,
women,
you're losing me here.
Well, okay, so...
How would you feel if somebody came into your home with Plan B pills, condoms, lubricants, spermicide, a vape pen with, marijuana and tried to have sex with one of your children, how would you feel about that?
I would not be pleased with that.
Okay, so why is it why is it okay for you to do it?
Well, the 20-year-old.
Okay,
Go ahead.
when they were underage.
Oh, yeah. No.
No, you wouldn't like that, would you?
No.
So why is it okay for you to do that to somebody else's children?
It's not okay.
It's not okay. Then why did you do it, Brian?
I don't know. I guess. Why?
Why?
I'm assuming I was lonely. And
You're lonely. But there's a difference between being lonely and meeting adults and coming into somebody's home to meet a 14-year-old girl. And because we know, in at least 2 other cases, you had sex with underage girls, it makes you appear to be a serial predator.
No, it does.
It really does.
No,
In fact, you are a serial predator. You came here tonight for a 14-year-old, and you admittedly had sex with 2 15-year-olds.
Doing it once is
You've done
predator.
it at least twice. Mm-hmm. And you were going to do it again a 3rd time here.
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, Brian. But you
No, I'm
brought all the
serious.
stuff. You've done it before. You brought the stuff.
I bring the stuff just as a practice anyways.
You looked all excited when you walked in here.
Well, I was excited because I just got off the road for 4.5 hours. Typing being excited, but I'm excited to meet somebody, but not necessarily for that.
But you're
Just in
here,
general.
Brian. You're
no,
here.
No, you're right. I mean, I'm here,
there's no
but-
reason to parse words.
I'm not.
We know what you're up to. Fuck me now, Daddy.
That's usually what
What you say.
the older ones, yeah. So
Fuck me now, Daddy. To a 14-year-old girl. That's okay.
no.
Well, you
not.
said it.
I typed it. Yes.
You typed it.
I
Did you
assumed
want
I
her to say that? Daddy, fuck me now?
No.
It's in the
I assumed
chat.
I was being punked anyways. Honestly.
You thought you were being punked.
Yeah.
Then why come? See, that's what doesn't make
That's-
sense. Do you know how many guys I've interviewed over the years?
Yeah, a
in
ton
this-
because I've seen your program.
You've seen the
actually.
program.
Oh yeah.
And what did you think of the program?
I thought it was disgusting,
Disgusting.
but yet
You're on the program.
I'm on the program.
And in many cases, Brian, when somebody admits to or there is evidence of sexual contact with children, there is more they're not admitting to.
Maybe for others, yeah. If there's
So you're saying you've only done this now 3 times? With underage?
only twice, and the 3rd time was the meeting up. Yeah. Whether anything would consummate would be a different story.
But you did consummate with the girl in Michigan who is 15.
It's documented down
Yeah, it's documented down. How many times did you have sex with her?
once.
Once. And did you stay in touch with this girl?
As mentioned, yes,
You did stay in touch. And does she go to high school?
yes, yes.
And was this the one you met in a hotel room, or was this the one you met at her parents' house?
She come to meet at the hotel.
At the hotel. Did you pay her money?
No,
So she just came to you for what reason? She was sexually curious.
that, and I think in her past she'd been, probably had other, she'd been with other people.
And why does a 15-year-old girl want to be with a 54-year-old guy?
I don't know. You'd have to ask her.
Did you groom her?
No, sir.
And the girl in Ohio, the other 15-year-old, you went to her parents' house. And how many times did you have sex with her?
I think we said once.
Once, okay.
Yeah.
All in just once, one night visit. Mm-hmm. And how long did you talk to these girls online before you actually went to go visit them?
Because we were on an app, like casual or down, like a regular hookup
Right.
app. I would probably say 4 days. Between
4 days.
because it's not like you're able to message instantly necessarily.
In his online conversation with who he thought was a 14-year-old girl, he sends a riddle. But I had already figured it out.
What did you mean by this 2 times 14 plus 2 times 15?
Well, as we discussed in the communication, they were actually the 15-year-olds.
They were 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a riddle for her to guess your age. It was discussion about how many other underage girls with whom you've had
I
sex.
guess, in a sense, knowing that what we were discussing was wrong. So, yeah.
So you made a little game out of it, a little code. So Brian, tell me what you do for a living. You're an engineer?
Yeah.
And what kind of engineering do you do?
Design products.
Design products, like what kind of products?
It could be any kind of product like like connectors.
Electroconnectors.
I mean, electrical connectors. It could be any, like cell phones. It could be anything, like over a course of many years.
It's a good job?
Mm-hmm.
Good pay?
Yeah.
How long have you been with this particular company?
Oh, my goodness. Off and on close to 18, 20 years.
18, 20 years. And you mentioned you're going through a divorce. How long were you married before you started the divorce?
29.
29 years?
Yeah.
And during that marriage, did you sneak out to meet underage girls?
I saw nobody. I was 100% faithful in the marriage.
100% faithful in the marriage. And what caused
and
the
divorce?
divorce?
And it was only my, what caused the divorce? Well, this is something I'd rather not discuss on camera because it might, because we're going through the process.
You grew apart, somebody cheated?
I would say the friendship grew apart. I had married someone that was a narcissist, had narcissistic.
She's a narcissist. And you're out here trying to have sex with the underage girls and she's the narcissist?
No.
Sounds like you're the narcissist.
No, I'm understanding your viewpoint. What I'm saying is you're asking me a question about the relationship.
Please answer.
So I would say that there were narcissistic tendencies on a spectrum of narcissism. However, I mean, you grow apart as friends, and that's something that happened early on. So there was many years of just being a dad, just being on autopilot working.
How are you going to explain this to your kids?
Oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to explain this. I have no idea.
It's a whole different kind of daddy thing.
Oh, this is like daddy needs some help.
Have you ever sought help?
Actually, recently, yes, I've been thinking about going to counseling, and not necessarily just because of this, but just in general. Yes, sir.
You see why this is a problem.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah. No, it is. Yeah.
Why does it say Big Daddy on your Cash App?
Because...
You think it's funny?
No, it's not funny.
You think this situation is funny?
No.
Okay.
This situation is not funny. The situation being is that the first person I had met was after leaving the relationship, was a 23-year-old, and that was the first time I had someone, well, I guess, what would you call kink? That's the verbiage that she used.
It was what? I'm sorry, I missed it.
The daddy part.
The daddy.
Yeah.
She was into the daddy thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess, I mean, I assume it's kind of common. I don't know.
Are you into that sort of thing, the daddy thing?
Not necessarily, no. It was kind of like disturbing initially.
Well, you didn't seem very disturbed over it
No.
tonight.
It's because it's kind of like everyone that I have met older, for some reason, they like to talk like that.
They like to talk like
because I guess because I'm an older man, they would be like daddy as opposed to whatever they are.
So these are some of the things you brought tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me review what he brought in his overnight bags to have sex with a 14-year-old girl.
Plan B pills.
Yep. I bought those two specifically because at one time when I was trying to buy some when I was meeting one of the 20-year-olds, there were none around in the store. So when I saw some, I bought extra.
You've got condoms.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Quest bars. Is that for energy during your big sexual adventure tonight?
No. It's because I'm on a keto program.
You're on a keto program.
So I'm trying to eat like low carb.
Got it.
Blah, blah, blah.
You brought your toothbrush, your toothpaste.
Oh, yeah.
Your Polo cologne.
I brought the cologne. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I brought some probably Polo underarm deodorant.
Yeah. And then the vape.
Mm-hmm.
So that's THC, weed?
There could be two vapes. One might be nicotine. The other one is, it would be a vape.
Is that for you or for the girl?
I bought some for me, actually, to use from last year, but I, literally don't smoke it.
Yeah.
Maybe once in a while.
You brought it for the girl?
No. I just bring it with me.
Who's going to smoke it?
For a 14-year-old, no. I wouldn't want her
you're
to.
going to have sex with her, but
Not necessarily.
You're going to prevent her from smoking the weed?
Yeah.
Did the 15-year-old girls smoke weed when you had sex with them?
Nope.
They didn't?
Nope.
So you just had sex with them?
That's what's been documented.
That's what's been documented. The answer would be yes, that's correct. All right. Brian, what do you think should happen to you?
should get counseling, number one.
Counseling, and what else?
I guess whatever there's legal repercussions, it's going to happen.
It's a crime, what you
It
did
is,
here.
absolutely.
The chat was a crime. Having sex with an underage girl is a crime. You're looking at some time here. How much engineering are you going to be able to do in prison?
Unfortunately, yeah. This is going to be very difficult on me.
Yeah, difficult on you. What do you think it was going to be on those girls?
It's going to be...
I mean, the problem is when you have sex with a child, 15, 14, that child isn't psychologically capable of pulling the trigger on that act, of making that decision. So you're forcing yourself on them according to the law, whether they say yes or no.
No, I understand.
Right? The law sees it as you raping a child, essentially.
It's, the law is
It's
what
the rape
law
of a
is.
child, right? And I've dealt with a lot of guys who've done this in a lot of different stories. Stories you've seen, and so the question I have for you is, aren't those stories a deterrent?
Yeah.
It wasn't a deterrent for you tonight.
Not for communicating with someone tonight, no.
And so what do you say to other men who are engaging in this sort of activity or thinking about engaging in this sort of activity?
I would say number one, stop and get help.
And is there anything else you want people to know about your situation, Brian?
No, I just want to crawl under a rock.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to me.
Because coming here tonight, I was like, I should just not even entertain this idea and just go.
So intellectually, you knew this was wrong. Help me to understand why you did it anyway. I'm genuinely curious.
I think, as odd as this sounds, talking to someone that seemed to be fun to talk to.
Fun to talk to. And the sexual part of it?
That could have left that out. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
But you came ready,
I came
prepared
with the normal stuff that I would normally bring with me whenever I go anywhere.
to have sex.
I just have it with me in the car, yes.
You brought it in here.
I brought it in because I have it in my night bag, yes.
Yeah, I know, but it's stuff to have sex with.
Well, yeah, obviously.
It's more than just chat. Weed, condoms, Plan B. And you've done it before. Do you have an attraction to younger girls?
In the 20-year-old range, 20, 25
these
typically.
girls are 14, 15. That's not right, Brian.
No, it isn't right. I agree.
So are you wired this way? Did something happen to you? I mean, children, you should be protected. Nobody's making a moral judgment about online dating. This is predatory grooming and rape.
This is over the line.
And no insight as to what goes on in your mind to make you do this.
I don't know. I mean...
You don't know. Well, I think you're going to have a lot of time to figure it out.
Unfortunately, yes.
And to other fellows who might be thinking about doing this very same thing, you say what?
I would say definitely if you're having any kind of a thought, get help. Talk about it and don't do it. I mean, obviously. Because it's not right.
Are you a predator?
I would like to think of myself as not, but by law, it's going to be.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
No. I mean, I don't know what else I can say.
Okay. Well, Brian, thank you.
I mean, I've watched your program, I'm like, oh my God. And here I am, like, contacting someone, and I'm here.
What did you think of the guys you saw on my television programs?
I thought they were disgusting.
And what do you think of yourself now?
I'm disgusted.
All right. Thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it.
We're next.
Jail?
Yeah.
As they get Brian ready to take him to a holding cell and further questioning, I want to know a little bit more about the man who's confessed to having sex with underage girls in the past.
What do you think it's going to take to stop you from doing it again, though?
This is it.
You know,
I mean, at some point, it's like if you step over the line on anything, there's got to be some event that brings you back, right?
Do you think this was the event that would stop you from doing this again?
Absolutely.
And what do you say to those other two girls, the 15-year-olds with whom you had sex?
I'd have to say for one of them, I explained to her everything that, like, this wasn't right, but
you did it anyway.
We did.
And what about the
I would
other
say
one?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry?
Mm-hmm. And I would hope that they would not entertain meeting other people like that.
You know, you could be prosecuted in those cases now.
No, I understand. Mm-hmm.
Tonight, and for the other two cases you've admitted.
Well, there's the two cases, period.
Yeah. But you could see why we'd expect to find more.
Oh, absolutely, because from your program, most of them are serial, like they've been doing this all their life.
Well, serial would be what you're doing.
As he was listening to my conversation with Brian, Sergeant Walters makes a startling discovery.
You know, let me ask you something, because this is disturbing to me, and I was hoping it wasn't true. The necklace you got on, tell me about it.
One of the people...
One of the 14-year-old girls gave you the necklace.
15 gave me the necklace.
You're not going to get to keep that.
Okay, thank you.
What is the necklace?
It's just a necklace that, like, what do you call it? Like
so the best friend necklace, she got the other half of a 15-year-old girl. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Yeah. You don't think what's wrong with that?
Let me understand this. So this necklace was given to you by one of your 15-year-old victims. And she has the other half of that?
Mm-hmm.
A 15-year-old girl?
Well, she bought both halves, yeah. And she's like, I wanted to have someone to have this. She was going to give it to one of her little siblings. She said, do you want this? And I'm like...
Wait a minute, you're wearing the necklace that a 15-year-old girl gave you, a 15-year-old girl you raped.
It's a piece of jewelry that I was just kept to wear because I don't have a necklace.
That one of your victims gave you. That's pretty twisted, Brian.
Is it?
Seems like it. You tell me.
I just took it as a gift from somebody.
As a gift from a girl you raped. Statutory rape.
Mm-hmm. Legally it is, right?
And what did that signify to you? You're wearing it tonight as you come over to meet a 14-year-old girl.
It signified to me she wanted to give me a gift, so I mean that's just as simple as that. And I just, because it was Christmas time, and I'm like, okay.
Christmas time?
I mean, that's when she shipped the gift.
She sent it to you after you had sex with her. And you were wearing this tonight.
I was wearing it tonight because, like I said,
to celebrate having sex with a 14-year-old?
Absolutely not. I just wear it because it's a necklace, and I had someone give me a gift, and I just wear it.
A 15-year-old girl? Which girl? The one in Ohio or the one in Michigan?
Ohio.
Ohio. And this is the girl you had sex with in her parents' home or in the hotel?
In the home.
In the home. So you go into her home, her parents aren't there, you have sex with her, and later she sends you a necklace. So a lot of people ask me, Brian, are there really 13, 14, 15-year-old girls out there who fall victim to men?
I think that absolutely there are many that can be. I mean, I'm not saying
that can be plied,
manipulated and plied. Yeah.
And you've done this.
I would say no, because I always well, I mean, technically, the way you would define it.
Yeah. So to anybody who doubts there are girls out there who can be manipulated into being sexually exploited, you say it happens all the time. Those girls are out there.
In that context, yeah. I mean,
what other context is there to be in?
I mean, I guess I would look at it more like for these two instances. I mean, I'll be candid and frank. For these two instances, it was like discussing with them from us, like, do you know what you're doing? Blah, blah, you know what I mean? Like, there's no promises. There's no, like, oh, baby, I'll treat you like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you exploited these girls.
Yeah, obviously, because that's what we just talked about.
And you groomed who you thought was a 14-year-old girl tonight. You seem to be making a rational, well-thought-out decision. How could a 14-year-old girl make a
Legally, they're not able to.
Right.
By the law says
So
they
you were
cannot.
grooming. You were grooming.
I guess in a sense, if you want to.
Yeah. No, you were grooming.
That's the way it's.
You told a 14-year-old girl it was okay to do something she's not legally allowed to do, or you're not legally allowed to do to her. All right.
No, you're right. Well, as uncomfortable as this is, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
There will be no other instance.
Well, a best friend necklace is a little different. Go on up.
Okay.
I am worn out. Can you imagine him thinking it was okay to come here to have sex with a 14-year-old girl and then admitting he had done this before? And he's got kids of his own. Every time I think I've seen it all, I see something else.
Brian was indicted by a grand jury and charged with 2 felonies: importuning, which is the act of soliciting a minor to engage in sexual activity, and possession of criminal tools. Law enforcement agencies are currently looking into Brian's other 2 possible victims, and maybe more. Montgomery County, Ohio Sheriff Rob Streck knows the importance of capturing alleged serial child predators and the significance of apprehending men like Brian.
Brian drove 4.5 hours from Illinois, outside Chicago, to have sex with a 14-year-old girl after a sexually charged chat. Guy's 54 years old, and he brings a sex kit with him: condoms, marijuana pens, Plan B pills. He admits this, that he has done this before with other teenage girls. Is this guy a serial predator?
I mean, just based on his kit that he brings alone, I would say yes. He admitted to us. Most of the time they don't admit it. They do the old, this is the first time. This guy admitted to 2. Who knows what the real number is? But in my opinion, yes, I believe that this is a fantasy that he acts out as many times as he can. And fortunately, instead of meeting a 14-year-old girl, he met a lot of detectives in your crew. We could keep doing these stings day in and day out. But yeah, this gentleman who brings a kit like that brings things to try to get the victim intoxicated and feel looser and freer. You know, that person knows what they're doing.
He provided names and locations where he had sex with other underage girls, one in Michigan, one also in Ohio. Is that something where you'll follow up and see if there are potential criminal charges there?
Yes, that is definitely one of the primary issues that we're looking at, just to try to see if we have other victims out there. Because once again, let's say it is consensual and mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, whoever it is, leaves the house and the child decides to have someone over. There are going to be consequences later in that person's life. This is a trauma. They may not realize it yet. So the best thing for us to do, besides adding charges to this individual and trying to get him put away, trying to get that individual who was the victim help, is also the main priority.
One of the girls actually sent him, after the fact, a friendship necklace where he's got one half of a token and she's got the other. He was wearing this necklace when he showed up at the Sting House for another teenage girl.
Just kind of goes to show you that these individuals are trying to also build relationships. You know, with something like that, you don't know if they're still in contact, if he goes back to those areas. So obviously we want to follow up with that.
Like me, the reason Sheriff Streck, his department, and all the agencies involved in Operation Intercept conduct these investigations is to prevent future victims and educate society on the dangers of child predators.
What do you say to parents? I mean, this is a crime where demand reduction is obviously difficult. And so it would seem that the best method of protecting our children is the education and saying, hey, look, this can happen. And it did happen. And it happened before. Some of these guys are repeat offenders by their own admission.
Parents have really got to monitor what their kids are doing online. They got to be aware, and it's hard, even for us to keep up with all of the education we do, but be aware of the apps that are out there, the meeting apps, all of those things. It changes all the time, but a parent has really got to know what the child is doing with technology. Programs like yours, that's how you get word out. When this was brought to me, you know, it's like, well, do we, you know, are we out to be show and glory and all this to be on TV? No, we don't do it for that. My detectives don't do it because they want to be on a TV show. They do it because hopefully the people watching this at home is going to look over at their child some night and say, hey, by the way, can I see your phone, or anything like that, because that's how we're going to stop it. You've been doing this a long time, and people just keep coming, even though, and I've watched many of your shows and I've seen them say on the shows, I hope this Hansen isn't here. I hope I don't walk in, and they still walk through the door because that fantasy is that powerful for them.
TruBlu is the premier source for true crime shows and documentaries. Be sure to check out our full lineup and previous episodes of Takedown at WatchTruBlu.com.